Get ready for a roller coaster of romance and unexpected twists. Shin, a lively young woman, attends a luxurious blind date party to help her friend, but things take a wild turn when she literally skates into a handsome man in a wheelchair, crashing right into his life. What happens next will keep you hooked till the end. She quickly apologizes and runs away. Jeong, the guy in the wheelchair, doesn't find her odd but rather special. He then asks his assistant to leave so he can enjoy the party alone. In the next scene, Shin is enjoying the fancy food at the party and wishes she could go to more events like this more often. Nearby, another girl, Nip, is criticizing Shin for her behavior and looks. Meanwhile, someone mentions a billionaire at the party, and Nip shows her interest in the same guy. Right then, Jeong arrives in his wheelchair, and Nip insults him for being disabled. Another guy almost runs into Jeong, and he is incredibly rude as well. He introduces himself as the rumored billionaire of Lu Group. Nip joins the guy and suggests they stay away from low-class people. Hearing this, Shin steps up to defend Jeong, explaining that the other guy bumped into him, and that Jeong is innocent. But Nip doesn't believe her and challenges them to a dance-off. Shin accepts the challenge and promises to handle it. Later on the dance floor, Shin pushes the other couple away with the wheelchair. She encourages Jeong to turn his weakness into strength and never bow to humiliation. In response, Jeong smiles and thanks her for her help. After the party ends, Shin escorts Jeong outside, expressing how happy she is that she attended the event and received a fancy gift. In gratitude, Jeong also gives her a lovely watch. Suddenly, Nip reappears with the same jerk and demands that the two leave. As expected, our girl refuses and in response, Nip calls security. However, to her dismay, the security arrives and at Jeong's signal, slaps her. They also check the guy's pockets, revealing a fake invitation card claiming to be the CEO of the Lu Group of companies. Shocked, Nip sits down crying, realizing she was duped and her dream of marrying a wealthy man is shattered. The scene then shifts to a resort where Shin works part-time selling coconuts to attract guests. The resort belongs to Lu Group and Jeong, the company's president, arrives to assess the services. He uses a wheelchair to observe the resort fully. When Shin sees Jeong, she's surprised and warmly welcomes him, having no idea that he's the owner. However, when Jeong asks about discounts for the disabled, the manager of the resort belittles him, suggesting that he stay at a cheaper resort. Ignoring the manager's words, Shin defends Jeong and offers him a 200 yen discount to stay. She leads him to a luxurious room and tries to turn on the AC for him. Unfortunately, the AC is broken and she decides to fix it herself. While repairing it, she slips and nearly falls, but Jeong abruptly stands up and catches her, surprising Shin, who believes it's some sort of medical miracle. Later, as the two are enjoying themselves, the manager arrives and tells Shin that she needs to attract 100 more guests to get a double bonus for the day. At first, Shin feels like it's impossible, but with Jeong's support, she gains confidence and starts luring guests to the entrance. To her surprise, a bunch of large buses soon arrive, and Shin welcomes them to the resort, hitting her target goal. Unfortunately, in the next scene, the manager claims the entire bonus and discredits Shin completely. Enraged, our girl confronts him, insisting that she did all the work, but the manager scoffs at her and refuses to give her the bonus. Just then, Jeong arrives and Shin is shocked to see him walking strong and confident and surrounded by guards. Jeong reveals that he disguised himself as a person with disabilities to experience firsthand the staff's genuine hospitality, and promptly fires the manager. Understanding the truth, Shin offers to return but Jeong suggests she keep it as a symbol of their friendship. A few days later, Shin notices a handsome guy getting into his car and talking to a woman. He mentions having some fun with her while her husband is away. Shin doesn't like their conversation and remarks on how society has gone to shit in so many ways. To her surprise, the same guy shows up at the office as an intern and introduces himself as Zhu. Shin recognizes him immediately and Zhu also remembers her. However, before they can chat, the project director assigns Zhu a challenging task involving the Betrayal group. He warns Zhu that if he fails, he'll be fired. Shin doesn't like this and stands up for Zhu, confronting the project head for mistreating the newcomer. Later, when Shin learns that Zhu is working to pay for his father's medical treatments, she feels bad and shares her lunch with him. She assures him that she'll have his back and tells him not to worry about the project leader. Together they start gathering public opinions about the company and use some pretty clever tricks to get the people to fill out the review forms. After a week of hard work, they complete the assignment and submit it to their leader. But much to their disappointment, the project leader not only fails to appreciate their hard work, but also presents the project as his own to the president of the Betrayal group. He flatly refuses to grant them any bonus for their efforts. However, to their surprise, the Betrayal's group president reveals that Zhu is in fact her son, and he will make the final decision regarding the project. Shen, taken aback, asks Zhu if he's really the president's son, to which he confirms and promptly dismisses the project leader from his position. In the next scene, Shin is at Jiang's apartment and they're on the brink of sharing a kiss. Just then, an alarm goes off and Shin prepares to collect the rent from a 5-star hotel in cash on Jiang's behalf. Despite his suggestion to collect it by check, Shin heads to the hotel to request the cash payment. However, when she sees $1 million in cash, she's utterly shocked. She gathers all the cash into a large bag and carries it outside. Outside the hotel, she encounters an old high school friend, Lena, who invites her to a reunion party taking place there. Although Shin initially declines, Lena persuades her to attend and introduces her to the rest of the group. Surprisingly, they assume Shin is a garbage collector because of her trash bag and insult her. Lena claims to be the hotel manager's wife and mocks Shin for being a loser. Undaunted, Shin challenges her to order the most expensive items from the menu and split the bill in half. Lena accepts the challenge and they both place their orders. Later, when the bill arrives, it totals over 1.5 million yen. Lena, who taunted her girl earlier, is taken aback. Adding to her dismay, Shin reveals a stack of cash from her bag and pays for her share before leaving. Furthermore, the hotel director arrives and reprimands the couple for disrespecting Shin, the CEO's girlfriend, subsequently firing Lena's husband from the job. A few days later, while Jiang and Shin are getting closer in the office, the director of the company arrives, prompting our girl to leave. She messages Jiang, expressing her desire to keep their relationship under wraps in the office. Jiang then informs the director that he's about to go on a business trip abroad and urges him to take care of the company in his absence. Once Jiang departs, the director brings in his wife to the company and introduces her as a new employee. The wife immediately clashes with Shin over a seat and complains about her. The director, who is acting CEO, takes his wife's side and assigns a challenging project to Shin, threatening to fire her if she fails. Later that evening, Shin confides in Jiang, updating him on the office situation and the rude behavior of the director. The following day, the director announces that the client liked their proposal and will award 10,000 yen bonus to the employee who prepared it. Shin is thrilled to hear this, but is stunned when the director gives the bonus to his wife. Shin tries to defend herself, pointing out that she created the proposal and deserves the bonus. Unfortunately, the director ignores her and again threatens to fire her. At that moment, Jiang arrives and confronts the director for his corrupt behavior. Here, Shin reveals that Jiang is her boyfriend, leaving the director in shock. The director then apologizes, but still gets fired from his position. In the following scene, Shin brings Jiang to her home to meet her father. Surprisingly, the father immediately confronts Jiang, accusing him of being in a relationship with his daughter, despite previously considering him like a brother. It's revealed that they've met in the past, and Shin's father helped Jiang by offering him some food. Now, he's upset with Shin for choosing a financially challenged boyfriend. Just then, a neighbor arrives and suggests they go inside the house to discuss the matter further. Everyone goes inside the house, and the neighbor taunts Shin's appearance, urging her father to let her marry her boyfriend. She points out that Shin may not find another man in her life. The elderly lady then brags about her son-in-law's company receiving an investment from Lu Group. When Jiang and Shin hear this, they exchange smiles. Jiang suggests inviting her son-in-law to meet them, and she agrees. Soon, the son-in-law arrives and warmly greets Jiang, shaking hands with him. He mentions that he's the president of Lu Group and expresses gratitude for Jiang's willingness to invest in his company. However, to his disappointment, Jiang declines to invest, citing the disrespect shown to Shin and her father by his mother-in-law. Shin's father is shocked and apologizes to Jiang for his behavior. The scene then shifts to another day when Shin is dancing at Jiang's apartment. Right then, she notices that Jiang has transferred 2 million yen to her account. When he arrives, Shin questions him about the money transfer, and he explains that it's compensation for missing the family party scheduled for that night. In the evening, Shin arrives at the hotel where the party is being held and clears a parking space for her car. At the same time, her cousin arrives and, seeing her move a bicycle, assumes Shin is financially struggling and criticizes her. Throughout the party, her cousin continues to taunt Shin for her supposed modest choices in preference for Chinese food, bragging about her husband's large company and high income. After a while, Shin heads to the restroom, and her cousin's husband follows her, attempting to flirt. However, Shin rejects his advances and pushes him away. Thinking Shin did something wrong, her cousin accuses her of trying to seduce her husband for his wealth. Just then, Jiang arrives and introduces himself as Shin's boyfriend. However, her cousin doesn't back down and continues her tirade. To clear the confusion, Jiang hands his business card to her cousin's husband, who is shocked to discover that he is the CEO of Lugru, the same company that bought his ex-workplace. As expected, Jiang then fires him from the job. In the next scene, Shin visits a convenience store and grabs a guy by the neck, accusing him of stealing her aunt's purse. To the guy's surprise, Shin is protecting him from being scammed by an ice cream vendor. It turns out the two know each other, and Jeong is actually her childhood friend. A young lad then approaches them selling flowers, and Jeong offers to buy one for her. Unfortunately, his card is declined, and the flower boy scolds him. Seeing this, Shin takes her friend to a restaurant, and offers him a job at reception. After a while, one of Shin's high school friends arrives and mocks her for working at the restaurant. She invites Shin to a reunion party, and Jeong accepts the invitation on her behalf. Next, Jeong arrives in a luxurious car to pick up Shin and take her to the party. They encounter the same girl who boasts about her husband owning an expensive car and working for Wonshan Group. She tells them to leave and call security. Surprisingly, when security arrives, they address Jeong as the president of Wonshan Group. This girl is shocked and apologizes to them. However, Jeong still fires her husband from his position. Amazed, Shin asks Jeong how his family became so wealthy, and he explains that they received billions of dollars when the government demolished their property in the past. Afterward, he invites Shin to accompany him to a wedding the following week. When Shin hears the date, she immediately declines, revealing that she's getting married on the same day. Jeong is taken aback and asks about the groom, and that's when Jeong arrives in his car, revealing himself as Shin's. The drama concludes with Jeong disclosing that he's Jeong's nephew, making Shin his aunt. Thanks for watching this recap. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you won't miss our next movie recaps. Stay tuned for more exciting recaps.